Hi you guys, what is that? Welcome back to another day of Livfiitmas. What day are we on already? I think this is day 4 of Livfiitmas. We just started and I'm already disoriented, but I'm so excited. I'm so happy and juiced up today, really just because we have a Windex blue sky day today, and that's like my favorite day ever. I love the sunshine. It just is like a really nice day, and it's not like super cold, like things are low-key thawing even though it's still December, but like it's just like warmer. So it's like a little bit, I'm seeing like the water drip off of trees from the snow melt, and I'm just like, I'm here for it, and I love the warm blue skies. It just lights me up. Like literally nothing makes me happier than blue skies. Like literally this morning when the blinds were opened, I was like, it's a blue sky day. Like my mood completely switched like a flip of a switch. And I was like, today's worth living. No, I'm kidding. But it just gets me so excited. It's insane. I love blue sky days. Anyways, today's video is all about tips for remaining consistent with diet and exercise. So this was another video that was also requested by you guys. And I also want to say thank you guys so much because I did post a little like community post asking just ideas of like what you guys wanted to see, recommendations, all that sort of stuff. And like it really helped me so much with planning out the actual Livfiitmas schedule. This video is off to a really great start. I fully wholeheartedly just fully dropped my camera. I think she's good. I think she's still got a pulse. She seems to be seeing correctly. That was my first time I've ever done that with this camera. This thing just took a tumble. I also feel like when this is first going up, a lot of you guys are like, sister, like we're getting into the holidays. Like I'm not trying to be consistent with my diet and exercise right now. I know, I get it. Like definitely enjoy the holidays. I'm definitely not trying to push not practicing balance with this video. I'm definitely a big believer in balance, especially with where I've been in my fitness journey. Okay, I've gone through very strict phases, so I know how important it is to value balance, but let this video just sit with you. Maybe once the new year rolls around, you want to revisit this and you're like, okay, this is the one. But like I said, I've had my fair share of being really disciplined, of having like really strict goals that I really wanted to achieve that were very important to me. So I definitely have gone through my phase of learning what really works to help me be really consistent with my diet and exercise. So number one, first thing that I had that's really important, we're going to start with nutrition and then we're going to go into the exercise category. Tip number one that I have for nutrition is huge, and I swear it makes the biggest difference. It is to remove or at least minimize distractions and temptations in your home when it comes to sweet treats. It is so much harder to stay disciplined and to use your willpower when you have a bunch of temptations all over your kitchen. If you have a bunch of cookies and a jar of candy on your counter, if you have a bunch of packaged products in your cabinet, people get this like feeling of mental defeat when they feel like they just like can't stay consistent enough, as if it's like a them problem, it's their fault. But that's not always the case. Like willpower truly is kind of more so like a mental muscle, and eventually it gets fatigued. And so with all of these tips specifically, it's like all that we're trying to do with these tips that I have for you is to optimize the systems that you have in place to set yourself up for success. A lot of the times we blame ourselves and think it's our fault of that we're not disciplined enough or we're just not doing our best, when really it's like, how is our environment? Like maybe it's our environment that's not helping us succeed. So all of these tips that I have are more so systems in place to help you help yourself essentially. And that's exactly what I mean with this first tip number one. It's like your willpower can only do so much. It can only last so long. And so if you're constantly being tempted all day long, you might start off your day really well, but by the end of the day rolls around and you're like, oh, okay, like I'll just open this bag of chips, and then next thing you know, you like way overate for your caloric intake for the day. So, oh my gosh, I just realized my rings aren't on. I forgot to put them on after the gym yesterday. But it just does so much with helping you stay focused, and it's such a small thing that goes such a long way. I personally would recommend keeping like 1 to 2 sweet treats in your house at a time. Guys, I keep forgetting about Poppy. This is Poppy. This is a Warmie. If you guys don't have one of these, they're kind of bomb.com. It's basically like a corn bag, if you know what those are, when you heat them up and they're warm, but it's like in the shape of an animal. And Warmie is like the brand. My friend Anna got this for me. I think this is a water buffalo, but then you put it in the microwave and it's really warm, and then like all the beads are down here. And I honestly like this during my time of the month, but it's just really cozy and cute. So I named him Poppy because he kind of pops in the microwave. Next tip that I have, which is also freaking huge. I'm not gonna lie, when I wrote down all these tips, I was like, these are freaking good right here. So if you're not taking notes already, take out a pen and paper and start taking notes. The next tip that I have for you is to prep food. Now, I'm not a meal prep person, so this could either mean meal prepping, which is definitely very common. You prep your food every Sunday, Monday, whatever, make everything, put it in containers, put it in the fridge. If that works for you, great. If you haven't tried it, see if it works for you. For me, I'm not a huge fan of meal prepping just because I feel like it takes so much time to do that all at once, and two, by like day 3, 4, I'm like, I don't know, I just don't really like the concept of like having prepackaged food. So for me, what I personally like to do, which is kind of like meal prepping, but like turn down a notch. I like to batch cook, which I feel like this is not spoken about enough. You only really hear about meal prepping. Batch cooking is essentially when you're already going to cook something, and instead of just making one serving for yourself for that one meal, you're making it for like over a span of 2, 3, 4 days where you can eat it for meals or days following. But for me, it just helps me feel like my food's a little bit fresher without having to put it like in containers and all this sort of stuff. But like if I'm making turkey chili, I'll bulk up the recipe so it's like maybe I'm doubling the whole recipe as a whole, so it's gonna last me, you know, 3 days for lunch and dinner. Something like that helps me a ton because it just takes time when it comes to cooking like healthier homemade foods, obviously cooking with whole foods. And I know that time is definitely a limited resource for a lot of us if you're working 9 to 5 jobs, if you have kids, etc. So when you're already going to cook, instead of having to repeat that process every single day, you know, for the 7 days of the week, you can trim that down to actually sitting down to cook something maybe 3, 4 times a week, and you're stretching that and having that for lunch and dinners throughout the week. Third tip that I have is to keep quick options on hand. I'm the queen of this. Okay, speaking of lunch, I hate having to cook something for lunch, and I feel like I always, when it comes down to dinner time, I'm like already hungry. Like I just want something quick. I don't like to be spending an hour every single time I'm about to eat something to prep. So having quick options on hand helps so much with just making the process so much more efficient. So when I say quick options on hand, you can buy like pre-made chicken. I literally have it in my freezer right now. It's like pre-made little cut up chicken strips that I keep in the freezer. All you have to do is throw it in a pan to like heat it up and crisp it up. I find ground chicken, ground beef, ground turkey, all of that is so easy to throw in the pan, ground up the meat, add some taco seasoning or whatever seasoning that you want, and it's literally ready in like 5-10 minutes. You can pair it with any sort of veggies, put it on a bed of pre-made rice. Even that's another one. You can buy like the 1-minute packs of rice. Like there are so many options that are still more whole food based that are already kind of prepped in a way that are super quick just to pop in the microwave or pop it on the stove, and it will be made very quickly. Also canned meat. You guys know I'm a fiend for tuna. It makes my lunches be ready in 10 minutes. There's also canned chicken. Beef sticks are a super easy protein snack, as well as like protein bars, protein powders at EHPLABS, code LIVFIT10 if you want to save, but they have great protein powders on there. Frozen veggies as well are super easy. You throw it in a pan, they thaw out in like 5-10 minutes as well. Throw on some salt, pepper, garlic powder, you're good to go. Fruits, easy to peel a banana, cut an apple, cut a pear. There's your carb source right there. So there's just so many ways to have really quick meals. I feel like I'm the queen of that. I feel like I could do a whole other video. You can have your main bulk of meals where you have your protein, carbs, fats that are still whole food based, that's still supporting your goals, that doesn't need to take a long time. Yes, you kind of turn into an ingredient eater. If you know those TikToks, it's like I grew up in an ingredient household. But when you have goals that you're trying to hit and only a certain amount of time, like what works. You know what I mean? Don't fix what ain't broken. I am going to get ready for a walk though, because it is just so nice, like I said, and I need to suck up this vitamin D when I can to combat seasonal depression. Who's with me? You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what leggings to wear. I kind of want to check the temperature. I might want to wear my KAMO Fitness yoga pants. Oh my gosh, 41. Tomorrow's supposed to be 46 and sunny. That's literally 50 and sunny. That's springtime. I'm in denial, but just let me be. Oh, that's so nice. Do I even need to wear a coat? I might just keep the sweatshirt on then and put some pants on. This sweatshirt is so cute with these like dark purple KAMO Fitness yoga pants. I love the little monochromatic moment. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I really do. I really do. Next tip that I have is to keep a handful of recipes on hand. Listen, what I feel like blocks us most from being consistent with our goals, especially when it comes to nutrition and exercise in the realm of fitness, it's time, decision fatigue, and a path of resistance. I feel like those are the main things that prevent us from being consistent. So specifically with this tip, I feel like it just helps to eliminate decision fatigue. When we have to sit and think like, oh, what am I gonna make for lunch? What am I gonna make for breakfast? What am I gonna make for dinner? All this sort of stuff, like it does nothing. It's just adding more time to the process. It's causing adding more resistance to the process, and then it just leads to decision fatigue. And then more often than not, you end up copping out and kind of falling back into old habits, which is not what we want, because we're trying to create new habits, being a person who's consistent with their diet and exercise. I just feel like it makes it so much harder to stay consistent because you have to think of new ideas, figure out what ingredients you need, figuring out how to make it, and it just takes more time. So for me, it's like I have my same set of meals in rotation. Like truly, it's like tacos, burgers, salmon and a veggie, turkey chili, meat sauce pasta. Like those are really my main go-to meals that I'll make. I know what works for me. I know what I like. They're pretty easy to make. They all take under like 30 minutes to make for the most part. And it's just something easy. It's something dependable. It's something I can rely on. And those are things, and it's a perfect example of having a really good system in place that makes it easier for you to be more time effective and efficient. I've been sneezing all day. Oh my gosh, I am so weather dependent. It's not even funny. It's not something I'm proud of, but like, I'm so ecstatic right now from these blue skies and the sunshine and just feeling warm. Like the fact that I don't need to wear a coat makes me so happy. I also absolutely love this trail because there's a little like stream right here. I was hoping this would be cleared for some reason. I know that was rather ambitious, but I always forget. I don't know. I thought they'd maybe salt this because it's like a bike path, but whatever. It's so walkable. Okay, next tip that I have for you guys are taking the tips on the road. This is also iPhone cam, in case you can't already tell. But anyway, next tip that I have, and this one is also major, and this is what helped me so much, especially when I was going through a phase of really trying to lean out as well, and I dropped like 10-15 pounds. It was to not let myself get too hungry. That was like a huge thing for me. When you let yourself get too hungry and you go way too long without eating, and you're like, you know, going 5-6 hours without eating in between meals, you end up getting so hungry and you don't even really realize it. But when you go to actually sit down to eat or choose what to eat, you're so hungry and you don't even realize it until that moment. And then you just try to eat something right away, and that's when you end up snacking, or that's when you just like get too out of control because you're like F it, I'm just gonna eat whatever's here, and you don't make as intentional of a decision, or you don't want to take the time to make something now because you're so hungry. Or on the contrary, you'll just end up overeating because you're so hungry. So even if you do try to have a healthier meal, you'll most likely are going to be overeating on that meal, which is then obviously going to be taking you out of your caloric window depending on what your goal is. But so that's just like a huge thing I stand by. Do not let yourself get too hungry. I personally try to eat every like 2 to 3 hours. I'm a big proponent for snacks. There's a big difference between just like mindlessly snacking throughout the day and actually having like a sit down snack that really helps to stay on your goals rather than kind of mindless snacking. Look at the little ducklings. Hello. And the last tip that I have in the nutrition category is to start your day off right. It's insane. We all know I'm such an advocate for like morning routines. If you can win your morning, that's how you can win your day. I'll tell you that right now. But so if you start your day off healthy, that's what's gonna make it so much easier. You're way more likely to make the rest of your day healthy. So if you're starting your day eating cereal, cake, donuts, whatever the case may be, and you're just living that way, like you're setting your brain up to have that reward system throughout the rest of your day, and you're just setting the tone and the momentum to be that for the rest of your day. So if you start your morning off right and you can win the morning, just focus on taking that bite-sized chunk of just starting to have your morning be healthy in whatever way that looks for you. Like I'm telling you, it's going to be so much easier for you to make healthier decisions throughout the rest of the day, and you're going to be so much more prone to sticking with those healthier decisions throughout the rest of the day. I'm taking a quick snow break, so I haven't drinking a lot of water today. That'd be next tip actually. Half of a tip. I always preach being on your water. But when you're hydrated, it helps you so much more with like being more aware of your hunger cues. And it's just good for you. So drink your water, preferably with some added minerals in it. I could just sit here all day. Have been standing here, I'm not gonna lie, for probably about 5 minutes right now. Just standing in the sun. Oh, it feels so good. And I was just listening to Passion Fruit by Drake. All right, boys, we're back. Guess who's back? Back again. Livfiitmas back. Tell a friend. Hey, guess who's back? Guess who's back? Look how pretty that little ring light is there from the stern. I love it. Alright, we actually did get a little package. I don't know why I say everything so weirdly, but I wasn't expecting this to get here so fast, and I'm so excited. I literally got another... Okay, I've been obsessed with having cacao with hot water and then like adding little mini marshmallows in a candy cane, and it's like totally my healthier like superfood hot chocolate, and I love it. And so I got another one from Earth Echo. I worked with them a lot of videos ago now, but I love them so much. My code with them still may work, TBH, but I'm not sure. That was so nice. I literally was just outside for an hour, and oh my goodness, you guys, if you you need to take advantage of your warm days, like the warm winter days, if you live in a colder wintry area. Like this just saved my mental health. Like I was so happy because of that. Oh, my cousin sent a little Christmas card. Those are really good photos. Oh my god. Now getting into the exercise portion of the video. This first tip isn't necessarily like a tangible action step, but it's so freaking important. It goes so far because mindset is everything. It is to change your perspective. For some whatever reason, like especially I think anything that gets in a daily routine, we tend to kind of start to view things as like a chore or feeling like something that we have to do that's like a drag. But if you really think about how much of a privilege it is to actually have the full health and mobility and independence to be able to go move your body like that, it's insane. And I have the utmost respect. Like I say this so respectfully, like if you were to imagine that you literally physically could not go for a run, you would have a total different perspective around running and exercise. You would totally deem it as a privilege, but because it's something that's so second nature to us, that's like always been available to us for the most part, we just take it as such a privilege. And like from my small little piece of experience that I have of when I broke my wrist and my training was inhibited, like that really fully showed me how much of a privilege it is to be able to be in full health and full mobility, to be able to move our body. I say it all the time, but movement truly is a form of freedom. It truly is a privilege. And also with that, discipline is 100% totally a form of self-love. And I think sometimes we view discipline and motivation and being consistent with the gym, all that sort of stuff, as like this drab thing. But it's really a beautiful thing. Like you being disciplined with going to the gym and with your nutrition, like it truly is a form of self-love, because it is you sacrificing today for the benefit of a better you tomorrow. And to me, like it's the perfect display of self-love. And so just kind of changing your perspective to see fitness in a beautiful way, in a way that's a privilege. It's not that you have to work out, it's you get to work out. And really being able to like change that verbiage goes such a long way with how you see exercise, and therefore helping with your consistency and your spirits when it comes to actually getting yourself to the gym. You guys, I actually have to show you this, because especially this goes along with like the Christmas spirit and Livfiitmas, but I feel like we've been doing more like cozy Christmassy activities. So like last time my boyfriend and I baked, and then we also watched How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I love the one with Jim Carrey. It is literally freaking hysterical. It's like a family movie for us at this point. Like my whole family thinks it's hysterical, especially my mom. But then also the other night, one of my best friends, Anna, and then my sister Sophia, we all painted Christmas ornaments, and it was like the most fun, cozy activity that I highly recommend. Because I feel like everyone does like frosting cookies, making gingerbread houses, but like this is a little bit different and it's so therapeutic. So I want to show you what I made. So this one I'm obsessed with. It's a little like Christmas tree truck. It's so cute. And then with the snow, I'm obsessed with that one. And then I also made this little angel, which I intentionally made her faceless. I just found basically like inspo on Pinterest and tried to like replicate it. This one my friend Anna made for my dad, because my dad's obsessed with skiing, so it says POW, like for skiing, like powder days. And then this one was supposed to be for Letty. It kind of is still like a Christmas present for him, but I just wanted to hang it for the holidays just because it's so cute. This was kind of supposed to be like part 2. If you guys saw on Instagram, I painted pumpkins around like Halloween, and I painted like 2 little ghosts hugging. And so I found this little graphic on Pinterest as well of 2 snowmen hugging, and I think it's the cutest thing ever, so I painted that as well. It's supposed to be Letty and I. Another major tip that I have is to find a realistic time to get to the gym and stick to it. So find what works for you. Some people are morning lifters. That's what helps them be consistent. It just works for them and their schedule and their flow with their energy levels. And for other people, it's best for them to work in the afternoon or the evening. So it's not really about this optimal time to work out, this like magic number. That your magic number is whatever works for you. So get realistic, figure out what works for you and your schedule and your energy levels, and pick that time and stick to it. With that, my next tip is to genuinely pencil it into your schedule and to-do list. I remember in college, I used to literally write in my gym sessions into my like class schedule that I have, and I just made it a part of my routine. So instead of having it be a thing of like, oh, hopefully I get to the gym today, literally write it into your schedule, see what you have to do that day, and find the time that works for you. Piggybacking off that last tip, put it into your schedule and look at it just like any other task on your to-do list that must get done, not kind of a questioning, we'll see if we'll get there today. That is something that helps majorly with being consistent. My third tip that I have right now is to create a path of least resistance. By this, I mean pick out your outfit the day beforehand. This is huge, especially if you're a morning lifter. Pick out your outfit the night before, lay out your pre-workout, get everything as ready as possible, put your gym bag in your car, make it so when it actually comes time to do the action, there's less action steps to get yourself there. That helps so much with being consistent and actually following through, because there's less barriers of entry, or essentially there's a path of least resistance. Another tip that always helps me is to have a fun pre-workout ritual. If you don't enjoy like anything about your process of the gym, obviously eventually you're not going to want to stay consistent with it, because just like with anything else, you simply don't enjoy it. And I think with something like health and fitness, a lot of times it has this like boring connotation with it, but it really doesn't have to be. It's up to you to jazz it up, make it fun, and make it something individual to you so that you actually look forward to it and it's something that you enjoy. So for me, that might be having my pre-workout drink of OxyShred that I love so much. It's picking out a really cute outfit that I feel comfortable and confident in. It's listening to some of my favorite music, having a dance party, singing, all that sort of stuff really helps to lift my mood and gets me excited to be there. So your pre-workout ritual doesn't need to look like mine, but just some sort of something that also has a connotation of like when you do this routine or when you do this ritual, you know you're mentally getting ready to go to the gym, and it just will set you up for success. I have to leave in 7 minutes in order to be on time for my meeting, and I think that's plenty of time to be able to finish up my tips that I have for you guys for sticking with your exercise. Another tip that I have is to find what you feel comfortable in the gym, like outfit wise. If I don't like my outfit, if I'm not feeling either comfortable or confident or both, it just is not a good vibe. Like then I just don't want to go to the gym. Like I'm not excited to be there. I feel uncomfortable, etc. So like find your style that works for you, whether you like pump covers, baggy t-shirts, you like working out in sweatpants, maybe you like working out in spandex and a crop top because that's like comfortable for you. Literally whatever. I just think that's a really big thing, is to experiment with what you like to wear in the gym that helps you like focus on your training, doesn't get in your way, makes you feel comfortable, etc. It goes like a really long way for just lifting your spirits and making you feel better about being there. Next thing is to have a reward system. Now, whichever way this looks like for you, I want to be careful with this one because I also can see this turning into self-sabotage if it goes too far the other way. But like little things, maybe you want to treat yourself to like a Olipop or something afterwards, or if you're consistent for a month, you buy yourself a new workout set or a new sports bra. Literally anything that you can think of. Or maybe you like to go to your favorite healthy spot out, you know, after every Friday or something when you hit all your workouts for the week. Positive reinforcement goes a very long way. And my last tip that I have for you guys is to start small. And now that I'm thinking about it, this could be taken a couple of different ways, but in a good way. First way that you can take this is to start small, meaning don't not be consistent with the gym at all, then all of a sudden think that you're going to work out 5 days a week and like not miss a day in the gym. You have to build up to that, especially when you're trying to put in different systems and build different habits. So instead of going from 0 to 5 days a week, maybe try to go in 1 to 2 days a week and try to be consistent with that for a few weeks and then add on a day, etc. That will help it be more manageable and just more set realistic expectations for you, and kind of start off with biting chunks that will eventually build up into something bigger. And that also can be taken in the way of how I originally meant it when I wrote it down, is to start small, meaning if you really don't feel like going to the gym, sometimes I'll tell myself like, oh, I'll just go and I'll stretch, or I'll just go and do like 3 main movements on leg day and then get out of there. And that's what helps me get to the gym, because it doesn't seem as big as a feat. It doesn't seem as much of a big deal. But then once I'm there, I'm warm, I'm in the zone, I always complete my workout. So if you need to kind of play that mind game with yourself a little bit, like just tell yourself you can go stretch and then you can go home if you don't want to be there. And I swear that will help you actually get yourself to the gym, and you're almost always just going to end up staying. And if you're really not having it that day, then great, you listened to your body, but at least you got there and you tried and you were able to get an accurate read on kind of what was best for your body that day. That goes a really long way for me. So that's it for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to day 4 of the 12 days of Livfiitmas. I'm really loving this because it's really helped me stay consistent. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. If you're curious what other videos are going live this month, don't forget I have the Livfiitmas schedule linked down below in the description box. I share with you guys what videos are airing when, so you know what to expect and when to expect them. But I'm sending you guys so much love. Thank you so much again for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in day number 5. Peace out.